Welcome to the Bridge Church Midweek podcast. We exist to connect people with others and God. We hope this week's episode helps you do just that. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Bridge Church Midweek podcast. It's Pastor Blake here with Jacob Parker himself. What's up, Jacob?
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you are. All right. Jacob, we get to hear your testimony today, but people want to know who you are.
Right, so I've been at Bridge Church for, I think, 4 years now. I do Roller Rangers. I do Bridge Youth in the summer.
Yeah.
I love helping out at the church. I mean, every opportunity that they have for doing stuff. I like going on missions trips and just, whatever they need help with.
Yep. And we actually went to El Salvador together, so we'll talk about that later on. There's a little teaser for you all who are listening right now. Jacob, tell us just kind of about yourself as far as what do you like to do? What are your interests? Where do you work?
I mean, I work at Subway.
Yes,
so
you do.
That's pretty cool.
Would you call yourself a sandwich master?
I'd say more like in between a sandwich artist and like a sandwich master.
Okay. And in
I'm
between?
not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet.
I'm above average, I'd say, for a sandwich artist.
What's your favorite sandwich to make?
To make? Probably just like a regular like white bread sandwich, foot long, and just cheese on it. Nothing else. It's just easy to make.
People order that? Just bread and cheese?
Yeah. Like for their kids.
That sounds terrible.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I would never order that. I'm a meatball marinara guy,
Okay.
and I always tell them light on the sauce, please.
Sure.
I don't want runny sauce all over the place.
Yeah.
Does that annoy you if people ask for requests like that?
No, it helps both of us.
Okay, good. I like that. All right. Well, thanks for kind of sharing who you are. We want to know, from a spiritual aspect, when we say the word testimony, right? That's kind of an old school word. But what does the word testimony mean to you?
I think it's kind of like when I first realized what this whole like Christianity thing is.
Yeah.
Like I really understood what it was and when that happened. Like when I realized that.
Yeah. So kind of tell us about your story a little bit. Tell us, what led up to that moment for you.
So I think the moment I really realized like what this was all about was when we went to El Salvador last year. So before that, I mean, I've always grown up in church. I was always, always involved in everything church related.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, until I moved here, and so when we moved here, like 4 years ago, and we started going to this church, I was still kind of in the same mindset. Like I didn't really care that much.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't really understand. I didn't understand and care. So when I heard that we're going to El Salvador, I was like, all right, well, I guess I need to get my game up on this. So I think I started to take it more seriously and try to understand what this is all about.
Yeah.
And it really kind of clicked like when we got to El Salvador.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, this is what it's about.
So someone that your family, did you guys grow up in church?
Yeah.
Did you grow up going to church? You watched the VeggieTales, you were at the did you ever do Bible quiz?
I never did Bible quiz.
Okay,
no.
that's some other old school type stuff, but you essentially have grown up, going to church on Sundays and Wednesdays, correct?
Yep.
So it's super interesting to me that we were talking before, there's always a point where you have to make your faith your own, right? And you grew up going to church, you kind of were told about Jesus, you knew a lot of the scripture and the stories. So for you made El Salvador make that the moment that was like, oh, this is real to Jacob Parker?
So I think the moment in El Salvador was probably, I think it was the second day we were there. Was it the first or the second day? I think it was the second day when we went up to it was called the
Tower of Prayer.
Yeah, the Tower of Prayer.
Prayer Palace. I don't know. We can call it whatever we want.
Yeah.
But
so basically what we did was there was this like tower on this hill, and there's people constantly praying there. I think someone has been praying there since like the 90s, like always one person. It's a really like powerful place to be. So when we got there, we all kind of like gathered around and they made us pray. They didn't make us pray. No, that sounds
wanted us to pray on this mission trip.
So that makes it sound like we were forced to.
Jacob's
We
like,
weren't.
I didn't even want to pray, but they were like, no, you need to, so I did.
No. I mean, we got there and we kind of all sat down and prayed for like 10 minutes straight,
Mhm.
just like all to ourselves. And then we all gathered around after that and we prayed for each other. And then I think the pastor there, or like the preacher,
Mhm.
he was like, we're all gonna start praying, like all of us together, and some of you might speak in tongues.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
So we all started praying, and then I started speaking in tongues. It was crazy.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. What was
Yeah.
that moment like?
I mean, like
First off, did you know what he said, what he meant when he said, hey, some people might be speaking in tongues?
Yeah, I mean, I knew what speaking in tongues was. I've heard about it before. I kind of knew what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
So when he said that, I was like, really? Is it- like, I've never heard anyone speak in tongues.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I guess so. I mean, I don't know what's about to happen.
Right.
But like, if you really believe like what you're praying about, and it's just like a really powerful moment.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I started speaking in tongues. It's something that you can't replicate. Like, I couldn't replicate what I was doing,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. Yeah.
So that's a moment where you go, okay, this is real now.
Yeah, totally. I was like, there's no way I could have done that without like there being a God.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
That's crazy. So you're going on to this trip. First off, to go to El Salvador, you had to fundraise. I think you worked a lot,
Yeah.
right? You were doing side projects. Talk about some of just the journey to even get to El Salvador.
I mean, I think it cost $1,300 to go last
Something
year.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, around that. So I worked a lot at Subway, and then
Eat fresh.
yeah. And I also I worked helping other people with like yard work or just whatever they needed help with.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I raised my money.
Yeah. And how many, if you had to put an hour amount to it, how many hours of work did you put in?
Oh, I don't even
Just
know.
ballpark it for me.
Maybe 600.
600?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. All right.
500.
That's a lot of hours.
I know. It's probably not accurate at all.
It's probably not. To get on a plane and to fly to El Salvador
Yeah.
for something that, you were trying to feel out, right?
Right.
This whole Christianity thing. So you get filled with the Holy Spirit with the evidence of speaking in tongues is kind of what we say. And then we got 7 or 8 more days ahead of us.
Right. Yeah.
So talk about the trip itself.
I mean, it was an amazing trip. I loved being there. After I spoke in tongues, it really kind of clicked with me that this was really serious, and I just entirely focused on what we were doing there, trying to not think about anything else. So we mainly just worked with kids. We would go out into San Salvador?
Somewhere in El Salvador.
Yeah, the main capital.
We would get on a bus and they'd drive us an hour and a half to some city.
Yeah, over rocky roads and through traffic. And then we got there and we would just go to a school or maybe in the middle of the street, and we would set up everything and we'd do skits and songs, and it was really fun.
Yeah. It was a great time, and you were a great clown during that moment.
Yeah.
You loved it, right?
No.
The clown suit that never got washed.
I hated it.
It was good. There are pictures, if you want to go look it up, of Jacob Parker in full clown makeup that are just amazing.
Don't look it up.
I might post it later.
No.
So fast forward now. This is a year later, right? A year removed, and that experience happened. How is your life? How would you say it's changed, or what has God done in the past year in your life?
So, after I got back from El Salvador, I just kind of wanted to do everything that was related to church or Bridge Youth. Like, there is something called Speed the Light, which is running around a track and raising money for missionaries.
Yep.
Just like anything that really they want to like help with.
Yeah.
And
How far did you run? Speed Light 24.
I think I ran like just under 2 marathons.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like 50 miles.
Yeah.
40 or 50 miles.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, that was nuts. You went hard at Speed Light 24. Raised a bunch of money so missionaries can have vehicles, which was awesome. So what else? As far as it's clicked, you feel like God's real? What looks different?
So I think I kind of really grew in my faith, like spiritually over quarantine.
Okay.
That was like a really big, like, I guess I could describe it as like a boost for me. Because, you're stuck at home all day for like weeks. And I just started actually you invited me to start a Bible plan.
Oh. Nice.
And you invited me to do a few of them. So I was like, okay, I'll do a few of these.
I did not remember that, but I'm glad.
Yeah, you did.
I somehow get credit for this.
Yeah, of course. So I started that, and I really hadn't read much of the Bible consistently before.
Yeah.
But when I started doing the plans, it kind of kept me on track, and I started for the first time a year-long Bible plan.
Ooh.
That I think 60 days into.
Let's go. How's it going?
It's going really well. Yeah. It's the first time I've read a lot of the books. First time I've read Exodus.
Yeah.
Psalms. It's really good.
Yeah. So if you had to summarize, or what is God doing in your life right now, a year removed from just this amazing thing you did in your life? What is he showing you, or what are you learning?
I think right now I'm learning more about like what it's like to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Like reading through all these books in the Bible that some of them I've never even read before, read a chapter from.
Didn't even know they were in there.
Right. I'm learning more about what it looks like to believe in God, what comes with that, and what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else you want to share with us today?
I can't think of anything.
Make sure to tip at a Subway.
Yeah, at least $5 per person.
You might be getting too greedy there. Might want to work on that. All right. Hey, thank you so much, Jacob, for joining us today. This has been the Bridge Church Midweek Podcast. Thanks so much for listening, for hanging out with us, and we hope to see you soon.